Dear friends, government excuse for their silence is to avoid meddling in Iran's internal affairs. If they oppose meddling in Iran, then they should not intervene in the interest of the Iranian regime either. Let me also add that such relations with this regime are counter to global peace and security and even the long-term interest of the West. The regime is surrounded by explosive social discontent in the country. It lacks funds and is paralyzed. The country's banking system is bankrupt. The economy is engulfed in fraud and money laundering and is not able to pull out of recession for a long time. In addition, it is engulfed in expensive wars in the region with massive casualties. Those who advocate such policy are not mindful of the extent to which the mullahs are vulnerable and how much they need these deals with the West. Therefore, no matter how much the mullahs are pressured to account for violation of human rights, they will not abandon Europe because of their urgent economic needs. Dear friends, the mullahs regime has enjoyed huge concession by the US government for many years. The US policy on Iran and the region had been based on rapprochement with the mullahs. The disastrous consequences of this policy have been countless. It destroyed Iraq, created a human catastrophe in Syria, and blocked the road to change in Iran. It is not without reason that the ruling mullahs are so afraid of the end of this era, which they called a golden era. We have repeated this over the years, and I repeat that the United States' worst mistake in the region was appeasing the mullahs. Today, the Iranian people and resistance and the nations and governments in the region expect this policy to be revised and the US stand firm against grave violation of human rights in Iran and its efforts to obtain nuclear bomb and meddling in the countries of the region. From now on, the more the US and the EU distance themselves from this policy, the region would get closer to peace and tranquility. We specifically urge the EU and its member states to, first, refer the Iranian regime's 37-year record of crimes against humanity to the UN Security Council, and in the first step, condition expansion of their economic relations with Iran on end to executions. Second, do not deal with the IRGC. Companies, such business only fuel the regime's repressive machine in Iran and the war machine in Syria. Third, recognize the Iranian people's desire to achieve freedom and democracy. Fourth, the Iranian regime is equally responsible for crime against humanity in Syria. The world must not remain silent about Iranian regime's meddling in the region, especially in Syria, and should demand its immediate eviction. I appreciate your continued support for the Iranian people in their struggle for freedom and democracy in Iran. And I would also like to sincerely thank you for your role in the successful relocation of PMOI members from Iraq to Europe, and we are confident that you will stand up to any form of appeasement of the religious dictatorship in Iran by ever stronger defense of freedom and human rights in our country. You are on the right side of history, and it would not take long before the people of Iran and Europe would appreciate you for your principled policies. I thank you all very much. Thank you.